Welcome back. I'm Representative Patricia Morgan, and today we have with us Dexter Liu, a retired product engineer. Am I getting that right?
Well, actually, I was an entrepreneur. I did engineering, I did design, did marketing. I actually ran several businesses.
Okay, yeah. So real talented guy who is himself an immigrant from China, long time, now a citizen. We were talking about the rule of law and why it is so important. And I think one of the things that makes America such an exceptional place is our rule of law.
Absolutely.
Right? In other countries, kind of banana republics, you're not quite sure what, you know, right, what the system is, the judicial system. But here we certainly are. And when illegal immigrants break the rule of law, they damage that for everybody.
Yes, it's a terrible slippery slope. It's certainly one of the reasons why I'm proud to be an American, is the fact that we have the Constitution, we do have the rule of law. It's something that's foundational, that we could always count on, and it levels the playing field because it protects absolutely everyone.
Yes.
You know, regardless of your race. I mean, justice is, after all, blind in America, right? Lady Justice always had that wrap around her head, right?
That's right.
We got to remind people of that. So when you
there's not supposed to be favored classes or races or religions. It's blind.
Absolutely.
Everybody is treated the same when they're in the legal system. Yeah.
Regardless of your economic status, regardless of your race or creed or religion, you're bound by the same rule of law. And that's what makes America great.
It's one of the things that makes us very, very great. We were talking about how illegal immigration hurts those that come here legally. And I wanted to just talk about an episode that I had in my life, or an experience. I had my kids down at Six Flags. And we were standing in a long line. There was a special ride that they wanted to get on, a really cool ride. And so you know how you wind back and forth, and it was clear we were going to be there for an hour, but they wanted to go on it really bad, and everybody was waiting patiently. And at one point, a group of older teenagers came bounding in, jumping over the railings to get to the front of the line. Of course, everybody was irritated by this, but we were almost afraid to say anything, right? And clearly, we were all angry, and we were angry not because we didn't want them to be on the ride, but because by them jumping over the line, we were going to wait longer.
They hurt everybody else because you waited an hour.
Yeah, and now we were going to have to wait an hour and whatever.
That's right, because
right, and that's what happens in illegal immigration as well. I mean, I know that people are in other countries, they want to come to the United States. I get it, we're a wonderful country. But they're waiting sometimes years to do it the right way.
Right. And
illegal immigration is making those folks who respect the rule of law wait longer.
And it's a cruel statement on the state of our politics today, because I think it's very cynical. It's very, very cynical, and it actually ignores one of the key components of what makes this country absolutely, you know, a wonderful country, and I would argue the best one in the world, because of our rule of law. And they're compromising it, and really, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
So it is heartbreaking, and so we've talked about the effect of illegal immigration on citizens and legal immigrants, but there's also a downside for the illegals.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
They work for less.
Sure.
Many times they're exploited.
They're absolutely, and I can cite some examples. Actually, I've been involved in the consumer product business all my life. And I've been involved in manufacturing domestically and internationally. And I can tell you, say in the garment district, it wasn't too long ago, and perhaps it's still going on today because it's just kind of hidden from view. When you corrupt the rule of law, employers, those who are corrupt,
Unscrupulous, yeah.
unscrupulous ones will exploit the illegal aliens. Because what happens is they come in, they're afraid to be discovered because they know they violated the law of the land, but they are trying to make a living. So I can tell you for a fact that in the garment district there used to be basements full of manufacturing where undocumented workers were there being exploited and working horrendous hours for less than minimum wage, and these people have political influence in their municipality, and they get away with it. And this is the slippery slope. It works both ways. It hurts the people who come here illegally. It just hurts people. So rule of law is so important to protect because it would help the people who want to be here legally. It would help the workers who legitimately deserve a fair wage.
Yeah, I think of not only sweatshops, as I think what you were basically describing, but
that's right.
The sex trade, I think,
that too
is something that's where illegals are really hurt, taken terrible advantage of, because they're here illegally and they can't go out to the policeman.
Yeah,
right.
You speak of the rule of law. To me, it should be absolutely protected, the rule of law, because once you're on that slippery slope, you degrade the force of our judicial system and the legitimacy of it. There's no telling where it's going to go, and then we see the corruption happen, and that's it creates I don't want to say it's an unintended consequence, but indeed it is a consequence.
It's a consequence,
yeah.
And obviously at some point on the national level, they have to deal with immigration and straighten it out and figure out what works and what doesn't work. But for those that are calling for an end to illegal immigration, I really resent them being demonized and called, all kinds of racists. You hate people of color. That's nothing to do with it.
You're absolutely right. I mean, to me, I mean, to be blunt, it's a political tactic. It is designed deliberately for a political position, and it's a tactic. And you're demonized. Therefore, you are really you feel threatened. And it takes a lot of courage to overcome that, especially in today's, I want to say bluntly, dishonest discourse. And that's what it is, because they're conflating illegal immigration with legitimate immigration. The two are apples and oranges. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, I know. I saw a tweet the other day on my Twitter feed. Yes, I Twitter. And it was, I don't hate Muslims. I'm just worried about the ones who want to kill us.
Yeah.
Right? And that would be for, I think for everybody. We have always opened our arms to immigrants. My mom's an immigrant, you're an immigrant. Did you think people didn't want you here?
No,
but they wanted you to come legally.
Yeah.
Right? Respect our laws, respect our culture, respect that makes America great.
Absolutely.
Right?
And when you...
And melt. Be part of the melting pot.
Be part of the melting pot. I mean, I remember the book that I had to study. I had to study the Constitution. I had to take the citizenship test. There should be validity for the citizenship test for everyone.
Sure. You work hard to become a citizen.
You need to
make it worth
understand civics. You need to understand how this country works.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.